Hi, Simone de Haas, the Speakers Director here. Today's tip is all about how to start your story. At a workshop recently, I was asked, what's the best way to start a story? Could I say once upon a time? Now, it's not something that I would recommend. The issue with starting a story with once upon a time is that your audience will think A, that it's not true, so it's not a real story, and because of that they will struggle to really create a connection with you as a result of that story, because traditionally fairy tales or those kinds of stories start with once upon a time, and we don't necessarily believe that it's true. It's a fiction, it's a figment of our imagination. Whereas if your story is true, then of course you want to be able to create that deep personal connection with your audience. You want to create some kind of bridge to them that they understand your message. So I would recommend you start maybe a slightly different way. You can do something which is essentially dropping your audience into the middle of the story. And you'll often see this happen in movies where they start in the middle of the action, and there's a technical term for that called in media res, and what happens there is that you get dropped right slap bang into the middle of the action. You find out a little bit about the story, and then the story kind of goes on hold and flashes back to an earlier moment in time where all of this started to unfold. So you could use that particular technique to start a story as well. I was working with someone recently who asked me this same question and told me some of her story, which was a really significant, what I call a crucible story, transformation through fire, if you like. And because of the nature of the story, doing something like that, dropping the audience into the middle of the action or into the middle even of the conclusion, is a great way to really generate intrigue and interest in how did this story come about. And one of the things that I recommended to her was to start the story with the following compelling statement, which is, it's not until you discover you're dying that you really start living. Now that kind of a statement's got such power and it's intriguing because the audience want to know, what, is it you? Have you discovered you're dying? What's happening? So they're immediately, it's like an automatic hook, and it's a great way to hook your audience in and get them really involved in your story. So why not give that a try? Look for the hook in your story and start your story with a hook.